I ain't gonna lie. I've been holding a lot of shit in lately. Man, I just had like a 3.5 hour cry.
What do I owe the pleasure? What do I owe the pleasure? Last time we speaking together, we wash your car for you. We wash your car. We wash your car with no shame in our hustle. When you got them getting into that wash, and you know that chip gonna be good like this. Y'all better stop wearing this slippery soap,
The entire game feels shaken as 50 Cent unleashes recordings that send Rick Ross scrambling in fury. This isn't a typical rap feud, it's a full-scale clash with serious consequences. According to the narrative, 50 had been moving in silence, waiting for the right moment. While Ross spent years flaunting business wins and luxuries, 50 appeared patient, collecting receipts and studying every move. Those subtle Instagram jabs he dropped were only early warnings. Then, without captions or hype, he released a recording that
New York, just like Mount Vernon, New York City, Mount Vernon, and Miami, all that is the same, bruh. Nobody wants to be near him. Nobody wants to touch what he touched, be where he at. You understand? It's crazy, bruh, how his fall from grace, which was never from grace, it's just like the devil just kicked him out of hell. Because he was never in nothing graceful and did anything graceful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about, okay, he did the music, he had the bad boy legacy and everything like that, man. But, you know, a few albums, a few people, you know, made to be famous, but they not here to tell their story. Black Rob, Biggie, Craig Mack. They not here to tell their story, bro. And now you got everybody telling his story.
Yeah, and I know 50, he did a recent interview with US Weekly saying that the reason why rappers are quiet about, you know, Diddy's situation is because they've been to his parties and they don't know what got caught on tape.
Bro, those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house.
hit the internet overnight. The music world froze. Executives rushed into closed-door meetings, PR teams scrambled, and anyone connected to Ross or Diddy suddenly withdrew from the spotlight. Ross was reportedly in the middle of business when his phone erupted with alerts. Expecting nothing more than a troll attempt, he ignored them until he saw the clip. Panic hit instantly. The whispers grew louder. This leaked recording was only phase 1. The story suggests 50 had been holding on to evidence for years, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The recordings allegedly show Ross involved in questionable business conversations with Diddy and boasting about hidden deals with emerging artists, shaking long-standing narratives about his early career. Industry insiders described the clips as damaging, with executives calling them a front-row view of a reputation imploding. Ross' team rushed into emergency strategy sessions, terrified that 50 might have even more. When Ross realized how far the situation had spread, the crisis.
But he had 250 tape recorders in that house that they took, that the feds found. So now with them finding all that and you being at a Diddy party, you know you may have done something that was caught on one of those tapes. You just better pray to God that they don't recognize you. Those people who know that they did something, no, they're not going to speak out. They're not going to say nothing. What part of the game is that? They are not going to come forward and tell on themselves. Nah, not at all. Ice Cube, he said it himself, bro. He said that Diddy's been targeted because of what he said about those folks and those people. Now, the people who was on those tapes may feel like Diddy might be targeting them. Because if he's asked about who is this, who is that, and he's under oath with the federal government, he got to tell them. He's not going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, I know that got to be a terrible feeling, man. You know you did something wrong at Diddy party, and you hoping and praying that it's not caught on tape.
But they don't think they did nothing wrong. That's their lifestyle. That's their lifestyle, bruh. I ask guys all the time, if two men lay down, how many homos get up? What you mean? I mean what I mean. It's what it is.
This escalated, late-night alerts hit social media, and Ross jumped online with a rushed, emotional Instagram rant. His reaction sent his PR team into panic as he contradicted polished statements they tried to release. As he posted voice messages and tried to redirect attention, partners grew uneasy. Copyright strikes were sent out, but the recordings had already gone viral. Rumors in the narrative claim Ross attempted to uncover the source of the leak with large offers. But by sunrise, his main Instagram page was restricted, forcing him onto backup accounts. His legal team scrambled as business allies quietly distanced themselves, especially as Ross pulled more artists into the drama. The industry quickly divided. Some supported 50, others attempted to back Ross, though his unpredictable reactions made defending him difficult.
I'm 100% factual, but it's somebody in this story of things that seems more reliable than others, Race, is what I'll say it, just to protect my sources. But this source informed me of who these A-list celebrities are on these tapes that are being allegedly auctioned off online and through the networks. And it's put me in a little bit of a bind because I like to be fully transparent with the audience. I want to say things, but I also realize from what I'm told, because again, I haven't seen them directly yet. I haven't, and I don't know if I want to. Race, I want your advice on that too. But the problem I have is just like, typically I want to report these things, but I got to be careful legally, ethically, morally as to what we report on here. Because as Ariel, the lawyer here, did admit, and I can attest based on the information I got from a separate, reliable source, people in these videos don't know they're being videotaped. That's a big issue, Race, right? Let's start out right there. If there are people on these tapes that don't know that they were being filmed, is that okay to talk about and to share?
I have a big problem with that, as do you, Andy. And you tend to be an ethical guy, and you're taking the high ground here. Notwithstanding the fact that you may have some significant information and reliable information, but the reality is that, look, I mean, if people were recorded non-consensually and you are the one to identify them, I think that's a problem, right? And I think anytime anyone has content, right, this is not an email, this is not a text message, this is video. And there's specific statutes without using specific language I don't want to get into, but everybody knows what we're talking about here.
It's Diddy with this person. I'll say that. It's Diddy with this person. Actually, yes.
Yeah, and see, the problem is, again, like non-consensually recorded, you've got a victim here who may not want to be publicly identified. That's the problem. That's the problem. And they have a right to proceed if they want to, whether it's criminally or civilly, without being identified, because we know what's going to happen. As soon as they identify themselves, there's going to be a bunch of people that come out of the woodwork who are going to unequivocally harass them and claim that didn't happen, and they're making stuff up. And there's the victims that we want to protect here, and that's significant.
Well, it's interesting because here's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I know a lot of you are like, Andy, just say it. No, I'm not going to say them, but I wanted to have this conversation as to why we're not saying it and why I think others haven't yet said it, Raised, because again, legally, ethically, morally, it's just not right. Now, there's an argument I've had with people who are like, well, they knew what they were doing with Diddy. Like these were consensual acts, like they knew, and he filmed other times. So I don't know what the big deal is. It's going to come out. It's going to come out is what I keep hearing from other reliable sources. It may, guys, it may come out, but it's not going to come out via me. That's just to warn you all, because I don't think it's wise for us to put out something like you just confirmed it without the consent of the other person in the video. Because again, from what I'm gathering based on some of these tapes,
Meek Mill was said to have shown subtle support for 50, while major names unfollowed Ross. Planned collaborations reportedly disappeared. DJ Khaled stayed silent. And artists like French Montana and Future posted cryptic messages that fans interpreted as commentary. Drake even dropped a subtle line about loyalty, adding to the speculation. The message across the industry seemed clear. Support for Ross was fading, and the shift was happening in real time.